I wanted to see all of the success stories from different students. And then I was like, hey, this is an opportunity. Why not?
Why not grab it? If
Yeah.
they can do it, I can do it.
Obviously, it's not a scam and people are making money out of it. So why not? The stories of life changing, that was really a pivot for me. I said that no, people don't just say these things, and it's something worth trying. And this is not a one night thing that you can just learn and then start tomorrow. You really need to give some time. But you have a community called ASVA to help you. So that was really a life changing experience for me with work.
Hello everyone and welcome back to our another ASVA success stories. Ikaw ba ay nag-aaral ng English or you're preparing an English communication test para mag-abroad? Because my guest right here is someone who is working in that field. Hello, Lizzy.
Hi everyone, I'm Lizzy.
So Lizzy, share mo naman anong ginagawa mo before you became an Amazon VA.
So before I became an Amazon VA, I used to teach IELTS, TOEFL, OET, PTE, confidence building, critical thinking, and all those kinds of things. So yes, mostly English. Yeah.
Wow. And kamusta naman yung working in that industry?
Well, the work as a teacher, I'm sure a lot of teachers can relate.
Yeah.
It is fulfilling. However, you don't really feel self-fulfilled all the time because you're not getting that much.
Yeah.
But then you're working a lot of hours and you're giving yourself a lot to it. So I think the trophy there is that you see your students succeed, and being part of their journey is really fulfilling talaga. Yeah.
Yes. And you were their instrument to achieve kung anong goal yung gusto nila, di ba? In terms of the confidence, di ba? And
or when they pass their tests, or when they achieve their goal or their dream, they go to different countries. You've been part of that. So yeah, that was really a great trophy. It's an achievement.
nice. So, it seems that you are doing very well. Ano ba tong work mo to? You're working in a corporate setup or on-site?
Private business, yes.
Private business. So, you have to travel pa.
Yeah, you have to travel, and then of course you have to commute, or sometimes on rainy seasons you have to find a way to get. So those are the hustle and bustles in Manila, especially. It was really, really tough.
Is that the reason ba that the hustle-bustle of commuting, rainy season, kaya naisip mo, why not earn na lang from home? Was that the turning point?
Not really. However, I think the turning point was the pandemic. The same for a lot of people.
Pandemic pala start.
Because of course, not a lot of students would enroll, and then I wasn't given a lot of students. And then at that time, I also was recovering from my microlaryngeal surgery. So I needed to find a way on how to work non-voice. And then there were just so many things you can see on YouTube. A lot of people became chefs from YouTube, right? I think I was also one, maybe you.
Yes, I dreamed of you one.
I learned so many dishes.
Na lahat.
I learned,
right?
I learned so many dishes, and then I learned many DIY stuff as well. But I wanted to be productive. I wanted to see where I could have like a passive income, and maybe this was a great opportunity for me to, start something new. Maybe it was a calling, or maybe it was just something. It made me feel like I needed to start a new chapter somewhere. And then, thanks to YouTube, I got to see Nikki B's video, and then after that, I wanted to see all of the success stories from different students. And then I was like, hey, this is an opportunity. Why not?
Why not grab it? If I can do it, I can do it. Going back, you went through a sickness pala, so that must be really tough. Ano uling sickness yun?
It's very common for teachers because we use our voice almost 24/7. So you're talking and talking. I think you notice that I'm very talkative, but especially when you're talking with students and you're trying to expound more, give examples, make speeches, of course. And aside from that, I was also piano teacher. So I would, so yeah, it was part of my passion and my hobby. But then, of course, teaching English and also piano, that exerts a lot of effort, especially on my voice. And for doing that for over 10, 12, 15 years, that really took a toll on me, and I didn't realize I had a polyp, like Adele, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So no voice for 1 year. Whiteboard communication. That was so freaking bad.
I mean, that's your job. That's your,
Yeah.
diba,
Without
service
it, you're
that you
nothing. Yeah.
it must, diba, very tough for na you've been through that.
Yes.
And then especially when you are stepping in someone na
Yeah.
transitioning in a industry that you've never done before. So it's like beginning or starting day one pa. Diba? So how was that transitioning phase of yours?
So that transitioning phase, since I can't really communicate, it's usually just body language, fingers, hands, and I felt useless because, like I would make modules, I would just help with the back end stuff of teaching.
And that's not what you want.
No, it wasn't. But still, because I've been part of the company for quite a while, and I still enjoyed helping, but then I still didn't feel like it's the pandemic also, like, you didn't have many students at that time. But however, it's just that, during that time, I was going through therapy, because after your, the surgery, you have to have this like therapy, to get
go
your
every
voice
month?
back again. Yeah, because they cut off the polyps, so your voice has to be restructured, and you have to practice speaking again. Like my voice was cracking all the time, so I couldn't really speak. And then my mom passed away,
Oh my God.
and yeah, and the worst part was my mom passed away the same day that the ECQ was it was implemented. So no rides, no bus, nothing, no driving was allowed. So I wasn't there for her cremation either. And so I really thought to myself, like, no, this is really a turning point, that I have to do something for myself, because I'm the only child. Right. And yeah, and I don't have parents anymore. So at this point, I had to be, and I had no voice. I was really at a very low state in my life. And so I thought, like, I have to make a change. I have to.
Oh my gosh, that was so emotional.
Yeah.
And then in that phase, so I'm sure that you were thinking na of other ways pa on saan ba ako? Ano ba bang purpose ng life ko? What other ways pa ba of me, diba, to serve or to have other sources of income? Like, how did that, you find another way pa of finding? Sorry, naiyak din ako sa story.
Yeah.
Your mom
Yeah.
died, but
Yeah. But that's the thing, because she lived in Laguna, which is our house right now. And we built that together when she came back home, because my mom was an OFW for, I think, over almost 20 years or more even. And we didn't really have the mother-daughter connection because of that. And my dad passed away in Israel. I was born in Israel, by the way, sorry. So yeah, it was very challenging during that time for me. And so luckily I had groups of friends. I had a support group that, gave me advice and would help, and encourage me, and also advise me and give me moral support, financial support, whatsoever. And then for me, I had to take a risk. So when I was searching, it's like, I don't know whoever can relate to like sourcing. You have to look for different companies. So for me, I was looking for different goals. And I was listing, and then what offer it can give me. And then I decided that, hey, to make it work, might as well start working from home. I mean, it's working for other people. Obviously, it's not a scam, and people are making money out of it. So why not?
why not try it, diba?
Yeah.
From a very difficult experience, no? Paano napulot yung sarili mo? I mean, kung ako yun nandun sa sitwasyon na yun, hindi ko na alam gagawin ko. I mean, I don't have any parents, diba? May sakit akong pinagdadaanan. Paano mo napulot sarili mo mag-isa?
I honestly don't know how to explain that, but I was going through a very weird chapter that time, because a lot of people thought I lost my way. Of course, I was grieving and I was also depressed. I also felt lonely. I felt, so many things. It was a mix of emotion, but I knew that I had to pick myself up, because if I don't, then I won't have the courage or determination to face whatever, that's coming my way. So in that case, I just thought to myself that I have to find different ways. Yeah. And then, and then that's also the time where I became a Nichiren Buddhist, and it really opened doors for me. And then I was chanting. And after that, I think 2 weeks later, I got money. I got money, and then I enrolled. And yeah, I don't want to say what happened, but that's just what happened.
Parang ano din, nag-manifest ka din after so lang, ay, tapos biglang dumating.
Yeah, because you can't always rely on family and friends during the pandemic. Everyone needs money. Everyone needed help, and you can't help, but you need to help yourself. So, yeah.
Yun na. Ask and you shall receive. So when you received that money, so what did you do with it? When you're in that school?
What I did with it, I paid off whatever debts I had, and then I started fresh, and then I started studying, especially after seeing, Nikki B's. I started to look what were my options, and there were many options, actually. I could have started a business. So I started renting out my front store. So that was a passive income. Not very big, but at least it was something than nothing. Yeah. And then from there, as I was studying, so I had time. And then I also had money. So I made use of that to start somewhere.
Wow. So talagang start fresh, diba, building yourself up. So it was starting some business, and then you started doing freelancing now on the side, online.
Yeah.
When you saw that Lizzy's video, what was your first action?
My first action, just the same like you're just swiping on your video.
Binge watching.
Yeah, you're just like, I had chips. And I'm like, interesting. Like, oh, this is just one of those, Yeah, that's what my first reaction was, honestly. But then later, I think the stories of life-changing, that was really a pivot for me. I said that, no, people don't just say these things. And then people don't just write about these things, because this means something to them. And when people always talk about it, it means that it affects them huge. So I said, okay, let me see. And then I got to the website, and then I got the ebook, and I read. And then I was like, hey, why not?
Why not you is watching right now? Get that free ebook right now. It's in that. What if sinabi mo? We have that in our description box below here on our YouTube video right now. So go click that link. Type in your name and the email address that you want us to send, so you can have the head start of ano ba yung binasa ni Lizzy doon sa ebook na yun. And now look at her on Amazon VA. So, mabalik tayo sa'yo, Lizzy. Now that, diba, nag-immerse ka na sa pagiging Amazon VA, watching videos, reading ebook, what's next?
I'm still working from home. I'm still a VA. I've upskilled. I've tried different niches, because when I first started, I didn't know exactly what niche I wanted to go with, because I said, hey, I have experience, but not the same for Amazon. So it's a completely different world virtually, and it's something worth trying. And this is not a one-night thing that you can just learn and then start tomorrow. You really need to give some time to learn. And what I loved about ASVA was, I met a lot of friends, especially during the assignments. I'm sure everyone had a hard time with PR. Yeah, see, people are laughing already. And I met a lot of friends there because, when you meet people with the same commonality, same issue, you talk about it.
Struggles.
Yes, the struggle is real. Yeah, so I learned also from them, and they learned from me. And because we started sharing helium groups.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I actually have 2 now because of So I met from there, and then sometimes in the helium group, like, sino dito may experience sa ganito, ganyan. And then we would share, experiences.
Share knowledge, share how to troubleshoot.
Yeah, exactly. And then after that, I was like, hey, my friendship is growing, my group of circles are growing. And then last March, right, we met up.
BGC, I even met before this.
Yeah, so I went with my friends and our friends connected and everything. So it was really, really great. I was like, I didn't feel alone. Because the worst part is like, yeah, some companies refer it as spoon feeding, but sometimes you just really need help.
Yeah.
So what's wrong with helping? But then you can't always rely on your colleagues. They have their own tasks, they have their own time, so of course you can't always bother them, but you have a community called ASVA to help you. So that was really a life-changing experience for me with work in regards. Yeah.
I'm so happy that you had that very great experience. No? I think that's really one of the traits of being in a community. It's all about giving. Tapos parang hilaan, pataas, no?
Right.
And we don't believe in competition. There's no
There are some.
There are some pala.
There are some, but it really depends also, right?
Correct, yes. And kamusta naman when you were finding a client?
My first client, that was, how would I say it? It was an accident.
It was an accident. How?
Well, because I was referred. I was referred by one of my my group teams in the Helium, and they said, "Hey, nag-outsource kami." And I was like, I'm not very confident. Like, sige nga, Lizzy, maybe you can try. And then they're like, product research. I'm like, patay. Like,
Doon ka ba napunta?
yeah. And then it's a good thing. It was only like they gave a criteria, and then I started, and then they were like, okay, this is good. And then I got my first $5 an hour. And then I was like, okay. And then when she didn't need me anymore, I was like, okay, now I'm back again to row one. And then the second one was, this felt like the one. It felt, but it was not.
How did you find that second?
The second one was through OLJ, and they reached out, and then I was pretty honest, of course. I also told them that I had my training and this and that, but they gave me a test, and I passed the test. So I was like, okay, something right. There's something right that I did there. And then, of course, with full determination, I passed the interview, and then I got there, and then my first client was around $8 an hour. So I was like, this is so different from
How many hours yun?
that was just 6 hours because it was contractual. And then later they wanted to absorb me, and then that's when it went on. And then some companies, they downsized, and then sometimes they rehire or whatsoever. So I learned to let go of that because I'm ambitious. I'm ambitious, and I know that my worth is more than that. And I took that experience, and then I used that in my next client. So of course it's also for me. So I started to say that, okay. And even though I had clients, I was still at the platform. I was still active on Discord. I was still active on yes. And then I was still talking with my groups from ASVA. So I was like, this is great. We're all growing. We're all growing. So yeah.
Yeah, it's really a theory of space when you're surrounded with like-minded people. You're the same
Definitely.
way. Can you teach us naman strategies on how you plan?
With winning clients over, sometimes they give you a test because sometimes when they just see that you have this in your CV, sometimes it's not good enough for them. It's easy to just show your skills through words, and so they would give you a test. They would send you a file, and then it was very challenging because I also had to research, and I also had to try to go back to my stock knowledge, and then that's recorded. Like you have your cam, and then it was very, wow. I was like, seriously, I feel so micromanaged here, but okay. And then I passed it. And so it's not only the test, it's also your final interview, because my final interview was with the CEO. This was with my second client. And so, of course, just saying that I'm willing to learn is not enough for them. You have to show that you also have critical thinking skills. You have to think business minded as well. And luckily, with my background, I'm also a business administration graduate. So that stock of knowledge also catered that. And because of I'm a communication skills specialist, that also helped me win over because it's all about play of words also. So it's not always about, what you know. It's also how you can try to seduce them in a way.
Art of
Your words.
seduction.
Oh, there. there, bingo, right there. So yeah, it's your choice of words, and it's also showing your determination that you want to help. Yeah.
Wow, it's really about giving, no? And I like your story because even though, di ba, yung to start you were a teacher in communications, in business major, nag-align siya lahat to where you are right now.
Yeah. Yes, it does seem like that. Yeah.
And that you prolong, that's your stay with your client. Sige, so paano mo naman na-stay? Paano ka nag-stay ng ganong katagal sa client?
The longest I've stayed, honestly, is 1 year. Like I told you, I'm ambitious. And when I feel like, something is not matching my want or my need also, I feel like we're not, we're not like at par. So, and then I voice out some, well, not some, most of my colleagues are scared. And I always tell them that you don't have to be super submissive. You have to remember, why you're here, why you started this.
Correct. Always go back to your biggest why. That's our module.
Yeah. Yes, that's true. Always remember why you started in the first place. Yeah, because you took so much effort to get where you are. And I believe I came far from where I started completely. Like I thought before, if I rewind, I would say that, okay, so this is just Amazon and then this is just a platform and you're selling products. But no, there's just so much more to it. And so from there, I also had an idea like how it also runs because I've already done like many departments.
Nadaanan mo na. No?
Not yet. Right now, I'm on AAM. I'm on account management. Yes, which was nothing from what I experienced the past 2 years. But now I know why all of those are important because it's all connected at some point. So yeah.
I think that you mentioned yung important kasi lahat na na-interview ko, parang mas nag-grasp nila yung learnings na bakit nila kailangan pag-aralan nito. It's because may use siya. Meron siyang, di ba, kung paano makatatakbo yung business ni Fly. Commerce business ni Fly.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much, Lizzy. You have a very beautiful and wonderful story. And
thank you.
Thank you also for being vulnerable.
Thank you.
Marami kang matatouch na hearts ng mga viewers natin ngayon. And if you could, diba, compare yourself kung anong ginagawa mo before as a teacher, now that you're an Amazon BA, how did your life change now?
Changed drastically because now I in the comfort of my own home, I'm able to do everything. So I don't even have to take a bath to start the day. Yeah, because
Ikaw ba?
Right?
Comment down below.
Yeah, you don't have to take a bath. You don't have to estimate your time. And then they will ask you, what's your ETA? And no more. Your ETA is from your bed to your computer, period.
1 minute.
Just log in. That's it. Also, you get to eat while you're working. Everything is more comfortable. But of course, you also have to have your own self-discipline, your own routine. That's why we always call it the work-life balance. Yeah. So I know sometimes I was addicted to it in the beginning because I always wanted to, as teachers were perfectionists. So I would OT so much. And then I said, no, I have to stop that. Yeah, and then I learned that, no, I have to stop that. I have to, live my life normally, and this is the time that I'm supposed to work. And yeah, so aside from that, it changed drastically because I became more comfortable, more at ease, more relaxed, and more rested, well rested. But now with 3 clients, I am sleeping with my laptop. So, I'm sleeping with my laptop, yeah. So there.
Together with the laptop, no?
Yeah, yeah.
I see. Well, Lizzy, my last question to
my
you.
gosh.
Are you a proud Amazon VA?
Of course, I'm a proud, super proud Amazon VA.
Thank you so much, guys,
you.
for watching, and see you next time.
Hi guys, thank you so much for watching until the end of this video. And if you want to watch more videos like this, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification button here on our YouTube, and also follow our pages on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. It's Amazon Nation PH, and connect with us on LinkedIn. See you!